Yes, folks, Ryan Garcia is fighting Javier Fortuna this weekend, and we have to talk about it.
Hey, hear him. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Hey, what's up with it, family? It's Hot Boxing Minute. Before we begin, hit that like button. If you're not already following, hit that follow button. Don't hesitate to leave a question, comment, or concern in the boxes below if anything I say or do tickles your fancy in any way, shape, or form. Ryan Garcia is going to be fighting Javier Fortuna this weekend at the Crypto Center in Los Angeles. And I got to talk about it because Ryan Garcia in the world of boxing is kind of a big deal. Now, he was originally supposed to fight Javier Fortuna 2021, right? And then he had, the anxiety thing, took a break from the fighting game in order to deal with his mental health concerns. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then he got injured. So I think he was supposed to fight Javier Fortuna at first and then Jojo Diaz. Now, the interesting thing about what's going on with the Javier Fortuna fight and Ryan Garcia is that when Ryan Garcia was first scheduled to fight Javier Fortuna, nobody was talking trash about it. Everyone was like, yo, this is a good matchup. Javier Fortuna is a solid dude. But now, here in 2022, the critics are out there in abundance, and they think Ryan Garcia is cherry-picking a very, very, very solid guy in the form of Javier Fortuna. It's baffling. It's baffling. Anyways, I'm here to help you guys out. I'm the false narrative assassin. I don't ride waves. I'm not a Ryan Garcia fanboy. I'm not a Tank Davis fanboy. I'm not a Golden Boy fanboy. I'm not a PBC fanboy. I'm not a black fighter fanboy, a Mexican fighter fanboy, a white fighter fanboy. I'm just here to analyze boxing for what it is and give my honest, educated opinion on it. Now, the odd thing about people that don't like Ryan Garcia is if you don't hate Ryan Garcia the same way they hate Ryan Garcia, they automatically assume that you're a fanboy. Just because you don't like Ryan Garcia, it's so weird to me. Like, I'm not going to hate somebody just because you hate somebody. But anyways, Ryan Garcia is fighting Javier Fortuna, like I said, this Saturday at Crypto.com. Assuming you haven't been in a cave, you already know this fight is going on. And I think it's an awesome matchup. Ryan Garcia is currently ranked the 6th best active lightweight by the Ring Magazine and the Transnational Boxing Rankings Board and ESPN and 10th on BoxRec. And he's also in most of the sanctioning bodies' top 10 lists. The IBF, the WBC. I can't recall the other ones, but I know he's on at least 3 of the top 10 of those 4 sanctioning bodies. And, you got Javier Fortuna, who's right there in the mix. He's in the top 10. He's one of the best lightweights in the world. And, I think a lot of people like to underestimate what it is that Javier Fortuna brings to the table. And Javier Fortuna is a solid enough dude. His record is, okay, hold on, let me find his record. Okay. So, Javier Fortuna is a solid fighter. He's 37-3-1, so he's got a lot of experience. He's got 26 knockouts, so he definitely has enough power to keep his opponents honest. He's fought names like Jesus Cuellar, Robert Easter Jr., Jojo Diaz, Adrian Granados. So he's no new cat around the block. He's been in there with other fighters who have great reputations and have established themselves in the lightweight division. So he's not some walk in the park for any fighter in the lightweight division. Not even Ryan Garcia, folks. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Javier Fortuna is a solid guy. He gave Jojo Diaz a great fight that went the entire distance. It was a decision that went in favor of Jojo Diaz, but it could have gone in favor of Javier Fortuna. Given a slight sway in the judging. Who knows? I thought Jojo Diaz won that fight, but it was definitely a great showing for Javier Fortuna. So, you have Ryan Garcia, who is coming off that recent lackluster performance against Emmanuel Tego, one where he essentially washed Tego on all the cards, and everyone was mad that Ryan Garcia didn't get the knockout. But what do you expect when you have a guy that's refusing to stand in front of you, that's running laterally around the ring the whole time? Hey, folks, if you got a professional absolutely determined to not engage you in the ring, it is a little bit difficult to knock that person out. But regardless, Ryan did win that fight, and here we are now on the eve of a fight with Ryan Garcia and Javier Fortuna. And I think it's a great matchup. I can't keep talking any less or any more about how that is a great fight, folks, at the Crypto Arena in LA. Maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll just cop tickets on the last minute. I don't know. You got Ryan Garcia, still young, 23 years old. You got Javier Fortuna, who is 33 years old. So he's got a little bit of age on him, but definitely still a very serviceable dude, still a very dangerous guy. Ryan Garcia is taller, has longer reach, is arguably faster and more athletic and more explosive. So he definitely has all the factors in his favor. And in my opinion, I think he gets the knockout in this fight. I think so. But I do not put it past Javier Fortuna to pull some craziness from under the rug. And who knows, man, Ryan Garcia likes to, for some unknown reason, keep his chin a little bit high. And that could prove to be something that Javier Fortuna might take it upon himself to exploit. Well, Javier Fortuna had the skill set and the reach required to get in on Ryan Garcia because, as we know, Ryan Garcia has the fastest check left hook in the game, and it can be game over as quickly as the match starts, given the kind of power that Ryan Garcia has. And like I said, when it comes to Ryan Garcia, I'll never really understand the hatred of that kid. He's 23 years old. He's undefeated. He's got crazy talent, and that's really undeniable at this point. And I don't really understand the mentality of haters, to be honest. I apologize for that one, folks, but I strongly suggest you focus on your grind and your hustle. Get out there and start making paper, and you'll start focusing less on what other successful people are doing with themselves. I promise you, it has a strange way of working itself out like that. But, you know, Ryan Garcia, wildly successful. He started making social media content when he was like 10 years old. Became a multiple-time national champion, and over the years has accumulated a huge social media following, and people are mad at him for creating his own promotional engine. But you can't knock somebody for hustling harder than you. It just is what it is. And, you know, people fault Ryan Garcia for the same thing that every other fighter in the game does, folks. Every fighter in the boxing game talks trash online. Every fighter in this boxing game has had their name brought up regarding fights that never actually occurred. And yet Ryan Garcia is the one everyone lords it over his head. Oh, how could you pull out of your fight with Javier Fortuna and Jojo Diaz? The world is going to end. I don't really understand it, folks. To me, it's just another fighter. And I break them down from their skill sets, what they bring to the table, and what I think they're going to do in their next performance. That's pretty much what I can do as a boxing analyst. No more, no less. And, you know, people can throw their 2 cents in on what they want. Javier Fortuna is very game. He's from the Dominican Republic. He just came off a recent win. Do I have it over here? Oh, he got a win against Rafael Hernandez, so he's definitely riding a wave of confidence. And that's going to help him going into this fight with Ryan Garcia. You know, maybe Javier Fortuna gets the win and shocks the whole world. That is not outside the realm of possibility. This isn't like Tego with a small chance of beating Ryan Garcia. Javier Fortuna is a dog, folks. And I'm looking forward to this fight. Boxing community, when it comes to Ryan Garcia and Javier Fortuna, who do you think wins this fight and how? Let me know in the comments section, y'all. Let's chop this up. Now, just a really quick note on the undercard to that fight. We've got the return of Alexis Rocha. Alexis Rocha has kind of made a name for himself in the Southern California boxing scene and has kind of made waves as of his last fight by knocking out Blair the Flair Cobbs. A lot of people were not feeling Blair the Flair Cobbs' kind of outspokenness, and Alexis Rocha got the knockout over him and made himself an overnight fan favorite. So Alexis Rocha is going to be fighting Samuel Cote from Ghana. Now, I couldn't really find much on Samuel Cote from Ghana other than the fact that he's like 39 years old and he's an older dude. You know, I think Alexis Rocha could possibly get another stoppage victory, but those fighters from Ghana are tough, and they do throw, usually with heavy hands, kind of like fighters from Colombia or fighters from the Dominican Republic. If anything, they're always heavy-handed, so you might end up seeing some impressive fireworks. I personally don't think so. I think Alexis Rocha is going to pull it off again and get another win and build more steam. Alexis Rocha right now is 19-1 with 13 KOs, but after that recent win over Blair the Flair Cobbs, he's definitely a prospect you want to watch. I got a chance to see him live at what fight was it? At the Honda Center. It was the Jaime Munguia versus Gabe Rosado fight. The first time I saw Alexis Rocha, the crowd went nuts for him. He is a big-time local favorite in the Southern California boxing scene. So you're going to want to pay attention to that fight, folks. Alexis Rocha, Samuel Cote. You've also got the return of Lamont Roche Jr., and I didn't even bother to take notes to see who he's fighting, but Lamont Roche Jr. is always somebody fun to watch. He's in the, I want to say, super featherweight division, but keep an eye out for that guy. Anyways, folks, This is Hot Boxing Minute, and I'm going to end the video here. Any questions, comments, or concerns, leave your question in the box below. You already know what time it is, folks. This is the future of boxing analysis on social media. Till the next time I see you.